Hi, I'm Teryn and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be talking about what I think makes for sustainable fashion. Sustainable fashion was one of my focuses when I was in undergrad. In my college, my major, my program, we had a alteration shop where people could come in and drop off clothes to be altered, tailored, etc., just so we could kind of show them how to extend the life of their garment. As a fashion designer, because I focus so much in sustainable fashion, I have grappled with the idea of maybe doing a sustainable clothing line. And sustainability is expensive, let's not get that wrong. And I feel like what I see sometimes with other labels and brands that promote themselves as sustainability is sometimes they lack or forget about the part that your labor has to be sustainable and ethical. I feel like they neglect the fact that your labor, whoever makes your garments, how your materials are sourced, I feel like that has to be ethical in order to be sustainable. In the way that if people aren't getting paid in wages that make sense, where they can actually sustain their life, then it's not sustainable. So I think that definitely gets left out in topics about sustainability within the fashion industry. So when I say that, I feel like for a label, a fashion label, to be 100% sustainable, it has to be ethically made and ethically sourced, while on top of using sustainable materials such as cotton, flax, linen, usually a natural fiber. But I do see where some people repurpose things. They take scraps of fabric and make it into a line. We have to think about the fabric and materials that we're using when we're labeling things as sustainable as well. I think for me personally, I'm not sure if I would be able to do a 100% sustainable fashion line. I think I would be able to source sustainable materials and then also have my clothing ethically made, whether it's just by me or if I hire people and pay them a good wage, because I just feel like if you study fashion, if you've done any type of sewing, you know that people should be paid fair, more than fair. So that would be my goal for myself. But as for materials, depending on your market, that might be easier. When you think of sustainable fabrics and materials, you do think of those natural fibers. So I think that's just something more for me to research and just kind of look into. But I definitely think I will have with my line clothing that I can label green, showing that it's based on the materials that this is sustainable. And I really do like to see when people rework pieces. That's something I'm going to do as well. It might be something that you like that might be a little bit small and you don't have enough seam allowance to extend it, so you might add some cool fabric to like make it back into your size. When it comes to sustainability, I've also learned that when people mention how, especially when it comes to extended sizes, that a lot of people don't have a source for sustainable garments for them. And like I said before, like sustainable can be expensive. So these clothes sometimes can be more expensive than others. I actually saw someone say one time that when people go to these thrift stores and buy clothing that are not their size, a lot bigger than what they normally would buy, and rework it, while that's nice that you're reworking and repurposing clothing, they said that takes away from those that might be one of their only outlets to source sustainable clothing. And you know, that's something that I thought about. I've never personally done it. If I've reworked anything, it's probably something that I already had in my closet or something that was already in my size or something that I just added to or embellished. So I definitely think that needs to be said. And I also think sometimes with sustainable bloggers, I feel like sometimes it's just unnecessary to do all that excess with like cheap fabric, cheap clothing. Thrifting is definitely a major part when it comes to sustainable fashion. I thrift from time to time. I have my favorite Instagram people that I enjoy, and some people will say like, oh, like they're just buying stuff, they're thrifting stuff and reselling it, and it's like, yeah, but they curate it and it takes away the time that I have. Or they might live in a city where they might have nicer clothes, they might have some designer items. A lot of these people travel to go find these pieces and sell it, and I'm not mad at that. You know, like you find some good finds, and as a person that loves the history of fashion, the history of costume, looking at archival pieces, I enjoy it, and I'm happy that there are people that do that. So I don't have to. That's a job. That's actually a job. So I appreciate those people. I enjoy them, and I like to, you know, support them. And you don't have to be at that level. You can go to your local thrift shops. And then I also think a lot of sustainable fashion bloggers especially should kind of promote and emphasize increasing the life of your garments, whether it's through donating them, which you're done, mending them, altering them. I feel like sometimes it's just with the fast fashion cycles, like I get it. Some people focus on trends, they want to stay on top of it, but I definitely think that we need to learn more about the life of our garments and what happens to it. And then I think we need to have more resources for everyone where, you know, some people don't like to give to Goodwill because I think because of what their practices are through corporate. So maybe we can find ways to donate direct to people. Maybe there's some closets at these schools, like maybe at school districts, because you know, I'm a woman, but that doesn't mean that there aren't children like in schools that wear my size, like teenagers, even like kids in middle school, maybe even elementary school, you never know. So I definitely think we need to get better as a whole, as you know, like donating things. I'm in a couple of clothing exchange Facebook groups, and I noticed that the girls will be like, yeah, I don't really like to wear things more than once, or after they've taken a picture in it. And I don't get that, just because I mean, like, I'm a regular person, not regular, but like I'm the average. Like, I'm not a celebrity, I'm not like a huge influencer, and even if I was, I would re-wear my clothes. So I think it's crazy how it's like, yeah, I wear it once, I don't like to wear clothes more than once, I'm selling this. And I just don't know where that comes from. I don't know if that's how they grew up. I don't know if like people were bullied for re-wearing the same clothes, but like once you're like, who cares? I have a ton of clothes, I can admit that, but I take care of my clothes. I wash them according to the fabric, the wash labels. Like, I like clothes, I can admit that, but I'm also not shopping constantly. I'm not always looking to see what I can get, what I can buy. And you know, I think it's fine for people to resell their clothes, but sometimes I get confused about why they are buying so many clothes that they literally only want to wear once. I've been buying clothes that I would consider like pieces, or things that I know that I would want to keep or even like pass down, you know, like things that I actually cherish and enjoy wearing that I want to wear over and over again. But those are just my thoughts on sustainable fashion. That's what I think makes for sustainable fashion. I definitely think for you to be a sustainable fashion label, you have to think of your labor. And I would even go to say, like, you have to think about the people in your corporate office or your office. Like, are you treating them well? I feel like a lot of these people can like be mean green, where, you know, they might, oh, we're green, we're good, we're that, but like, you have to treat people well from top to bottom. I love seeing what people do when it comes to sustainability within the fashion industry, and I'm looking forward to seeing it grow, develop, and, you know, evolve into something more accurate and more enclosing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment for more videos. Thank you again.